46. Working from anywhere. When the office finally let go. The prediction, what we thought. Long before video calls became muscle memory, futurists imagined a simple shift. Work would detach from place. People would no longer commute daily to centralized offices. Instead, they would work from homes, cafes, shared spaces, or wherever made sense. Technology would dissolve the need for proximity. Productivity would follow people, not buildings. In this future, the office wouldn't vanish, but it would lose its monopoly. Standing in 1999, this idea felt progressive but premature. Offices were still the default. Work culture was built around presence. Being seen mattered as much as output. Why this prediction made sense in 1999? The pieces were already visible. In the late 1990s, personal computers were spreading, but not universal. Email was becoming common in workplaces. Early broadband was emerging. Knowledge work was expanding. The nature of work was changing faster than the structures around it. More jobs involved information rather than machinery. If work was information, it didn't strictly need a fixed location. This belief aligned perfectly with millennium-era optimism that technology would humanize work, reducing wasted time, increasing flexibility, and restoring autonomy. For younger readers today, it's important to remember how radical this sounded. In 1999, working from home often implied freelancing, marginal status, or lack of seriousness. Corporate trust in remote employees was thin. Who said it, and where? The idea of distributed work was championed earlier by futurists like Alvin Toffler, whose work in the late 20th century described a shift away from centralized industrial patterns toward more flexible, decentralized modes of living and working. By the 1990s, Toffler's ideas experienced a revival as digital networks matured. Telecommuting was reframed not as exception, but as the logical endpoint of an information economy. At the time, this sounded insightful, but aspirational. What actually happened 2000 to 2025? Remote work arrived slowly, then all at once. In the early 2000s, telecommuting existed, but was rare. Corporate culture favored offices. Technology was helpful but clunky. By the 2010s, tools improved. Video conferencing stabilized. Cloud software matured. Remote work expanded, but remained optional and uneven. Then a global disruption forced the issue. Within a short period, entire workforces went remote. Productivity proved viable outside offices. Geographic flexibility became normal. Hiring pools expanded globally. By 2025, remote and hybrid work were embedded across industries. Offices persisted, but no longer defined work by default. The prediction didn't just come true. It restructured expectations. Verdict. Status. Realized. Remote work is now a mainstream mode of employment. While not universal, telecommuting is widely accepted, technologically supported, and culturally normalized across much of the global workforce. Why it played out this way? The core barrier wasn't technology, it was trust. Once organizations were forced to test remote work at scale, the results spoke for themselves. Many jobs did not require physical presence. Output could be measured. Collaboration could adapt. There were trade-offs, burnout, isolation, blurred boundaries, but the fundamental assumption that work must happen in offices collapsed. The future didn't eliminate offices. It demoted them. What this prediction teaches us about the future. This case highlights a powerful forecasting lesson. When technology enables flexibility, culture eventually follows, often after resistance. Remote work wasn't adopted because it was futuristic. It was adopted because it worked. In 1999, working from anywhere symbolized freedom. In 2026, it symbolizes choice. The future delivered location independence, not as a perk, but as a baseline. One sentence takeaway. Work didn't disappear from offices, it escaped them.